We are rolling.
All right.
And my guest today, Haley Jones, Executive Director of the Massachusetts Republican Party. Welcome back to normal.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me. A little celeb appearance here. You know, I love to have the candidates on first. So I've, been a little bit since I've been here, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, let me see. I don't know, what your videos get more traction than me. And this podcast, the Mass GOP Minute gets like 1,000 hits a second when you do it, and it's fantastic. I've told you offline. I was like, you got to keep doing that. We are doing it. It's a hit.
Yes, you were a big advocate of the Mass GOP Minute. You know, it's been a little bit since we've made those. Now we're going a little bit shorter. They seem to do well on TikTok. That's part of our goals, to reach the younger crowd. So it's a little out of my comfort zone, but we're trying to do the right thing.
Their attention span. So if they want to expand their attention span, they can watch this show for long-form content.
Yes,
and if they just want the little bite-sized chunks, they can watch Mass GOP.
Well, this produces a little of both, so
yes,
it's great.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much for coming on. And we are here today to talk about the Mass GOP convention, which is 3 weeks away.
We're about 2.5 weeks away.
2.5 weeks away from when we're recording this, but it'll be coming up soon for the audience.
Yeah.
Since you were going to be running it, first of all, thank you. Because it's a somewhat thankless job, and allow me to be the first one to thank you because it's a huge undertaking. This is a massive event. A lot of people, thousands of people, media, money, badges, voting, all kinds of stuff. I wish you well. Good luck. I wouldn't want that job.
I do actually want this job. It is quite the tremendous effort. Really, convention can't be understated. But I joke with, my friends in in campaigns all the time that it was 2 years ago I first said I really want to run the convention in 2026, and now we're here. It fell kind of back in my lap after I became executive director. So I'm actually really excited about this professionally and, of course, for the Bay State. It's the largest gathering of Republicans every 4 years. It's like our Super Bowl. It's even better than that. So I just can't wait. Our team at headquarters is bursting every single day with the excitement of this. It's no longer, a dream. It's a reality. It's happening. It's just a couple weeks away.
Excellent. No, I've been several times. It is a great event. There's events the night before, the convention day during, guest speakers, lots and lots to cover in some of the rules, some of the ins and outs.
Yeah.
We're going to get into those things, those important questions that a lot of people might have. But let's start with the basics. It is going to be Saturday, April 25th.
Yes.
Okay. And however, that will be preceded by Friday night events across for multiple campaigns. But why don't you kick us off? What do you think top of mind the audience needs to hear? This might burping. That's gross. Sorry.
All good.
This might be what's the top thing that either delegates, people might be in attendance, or just the general audience of Republicans needs to know.
I think people want to hear about the schedule for the weekend. Okay. So we really will kick off there midweek, of course. I mean, this is, like I said, a very tremendous effort. So it takes quite a few days to set up the DCU Center. Our state committee, those 80 men and women who really are the governing board of the Republican Party, are meeting on Thursday night to walk the center, kick off, go through the business of what they need to for the night. And then on Friday, it's final setup. We'll have a really fun time for campaigns to come into the DCU. They get to basically run around for 2 hours and take up every space of concrete they can find on the walls with their signs and bumper stickers and things like that. But for delegates, the fun kicks off Friday night. So Mass GOP will have a pre-registration party, very generously co-hosted by John Deaton. Can never thank him enough for all he's done for us.
Yes, I thanked him profusely on the last episode, so he's been very helpful, and thank you very much, John Dean. I'll look into the camera once again.
Thank you, John. Yes, thank you, John. We can't say it enough. You've done so much for Mass GOP in the last few months, and longer. But so yeah, Friday night will really be a lot of fun. Every single gubernatorial campaign's hosting their own party. I think they all kick off around 6 o'clock. Mass GOP's parties from 4 to 6. And there'll be a photo booth, there'll be music. That's where you can, pick up your credentials early, skip the lines for Saturday if that interests you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes.
Go do that, take care of that, because maybe if you have a really fun Friday night, you might be a little late and be standing in line.
Yeah. So why we
Saturday.
offered many hotel blocks for
Yeah.
Friday night. Yeah.
So that's a good suggestion. Yes, pick your credentials up Friday night.
Please do. And come to our party. It will be a lot of fun. But Saturday, of course, is the Super Bowl convention itself. So right now, doors open at 8 o'clock, registrations from 8 to 10. So you can get your credentials at any time in there. And around 9 o'clock, we'll kick off really the ceremonial portion of the day where we appoint the officers and do the roll and things like that. And then the speakers will start around 10. So we have some national speakers coming in who I'm not going to announce tonight. I know you would ask.
Come on. You got to give me something. No,
I know. We're so close. I
I
think next week we'll be rolling them out.
Excellent.
And then more of your everyday Massachusetts stories, you know, people who are activists in the state and have stories to tell and are probably delegates themselves. They'll have a chance to take the stage. And then by lunchtime, we'll move into voting mode. So it is part of our rules. By 11:30, we suspend business. We go into voting mode. And we'll go through the slate of offices. So we'll walk out of there with endorsed candidates for all the statewide offices, Attorney General, for, you know, U.S. Senate with John Deaton on the ballot, and all the gubernatorial candidates. We'll walk away with one who has an endorsement.
Okay. So let's review what the rules are. So if people understand how an endorsement is obtained, what the process is that people go through voting, and this is mainly for delegates, true, but perhaps the general audience might want to know more information. So let's start out with walk people through what's going to take place on Saturday for that voting process.
So if there is only one candidate seeking the nomination, then they will have a voice vote, right? It'll be unanimous by acclamation. So that's most likely what we'll see for John Deaton, for Elizabeth Dion, who's running for treasurer. She's an incredible statewide candidate. I've loved watching her run. Michael Walsh for attorney general. Right now, they're the only ones seeking the nomination, so it'll probably be a voice vote.
Okay.
For the contested primaries, like lieutenant governor, that's when we have a tally. So your state committee member, a man or a woman, who's ever the senior officer for your district, that's how you'll be seated. We'll have a clipboard with only the names of those who are present. That's why we lock the doors at a certain point. If you are there, your name gets printed. If you're not, it doesn't.
All right, so you got to be in the room on time, showing up. Okay.
Yeah, so we're locking doors at 10 o'clock. Alert, 10 o'clock. Doors are locked because we have to prepare these ballots.
Right.
We do. It's just the reality. So that's how the vote works. It'll be a tally sheet. They will call your town. You'll walk up. Someone will have a clipboard. You'll say who you cast your vote for, and then we'll bring those back to the back room. It is a convention, so there's a lot of fun to it. You know, someone will announce the results for each district. We'll announce those on stage. You know, we try to make the most fun of it. But, of course, there's a lot of serious business going on here. You're seeking the endorsement. It's a huge deal. But at the end of the night, we'll walk away with hopefully a full slate. Right now, we have no candidate for auditor, which I'm sure most people are like, thank God that you don't. I know we have a lot of fans of her in the party. But yeah, right now we have someone for every other office. So it's really impressive.
So will be paper ballots? What's the balloting?
Yeah, so it's a tally sheet. So it's verbal.
Okay.
It's like a convention, what you imagine. I mean, there's a little bit of beautiful chaos in there. Obviously, we do the best that we can to respect everyone's privacy, but it's not a secret ballot. It's a tally sheet. Got it.
Okay, no, I remember actually that was last time.
Yeah.
Similar to last time.
Yep.
Okay. All right. From there, for each, what's the order? What goes first? Lieutenant Governor, I assume, if we're going to do the tally sheet?
So it is laid out in our convention rules, the order, but it's ultimately at the discretion of the party chair. So this year, the order is going to be starting with U.S. Senate. We haven't had a federal office participate in convention in quite some time. So it's a little unique that John Deaton's going to be there. So we're going to start the day with him. I think that's a really unifying move for the party. And then move through, the statewide constitutional offices like Attorney General, treasurer, and then lieutenant governor, and we end the day with the governor's vote. Okay.
All right. So that's the voting process. Seems pretty clear from my side. And then, people will have to give time for votes to be tallied. They're talking, chit-chatting. I know that takes a little bit. Okay. What else? That's the voting portion. What else do we want to cover for either delegates or general public to know?
Well, there will be a vendor hall. Let me plug that. So, there will be some downtime, right, when we're counting votes after the speeches have concluded. So there's a vendor hall right now. We have about 30 vendors participating. Some are campaigns. Some of our congressional candidates have chosen to participate. And then some merch, too. You got to get your swag while you're at convention. So I know there's everything from, the MAGA hats for our favorite MAGA CAG savages to sequined, gun bags and things like that. So you'll definitely be able to walk around, have some fun. Concessions will be open. We'll be serving alcohol, of course.
All right. Yeah. If you need a little hair of the dog from the night before, you can get that cure.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was a lot of the speakers, right? So there have been speakers in the past. Last convention was Tom Homan, head of ICE.
Yeah.
I think Byron Donalds was also gave a great speech at conventions past. There's really a renewed. I know you can't give away the national speakers, but who do we have queued up for maybe some of the folks that locally that you're planning on having on them, spotlight them and give them some good attention and some love?
So I feel like I can announce some of our Massachusetts natives who are a little bit famous here. So Mike Urban, very fitting for being on the podcast right now. Yeah, he's been instrumental in uncovering the SNAP fraud scandal and really all the fraud that's going on with Governor Maura Healey. I mean, that issue is getting so much traction right now and something we are talking about as the Republican Party.
This is one thing that I think people really need to understand is that it's not like coming on strong right now. We're still in April of an election year. We've got many months to go. You almost want this stuff to build over time, and the amount of fraud that we all know is taking place here. Minnesota was a drop in the bucket. We know California is awful. We know New York's bad. We know Massachusetts is probably equally, if not as bad proportionally. Mike's been doing really good work with this. I think he's going to be a great speaker, and maybe probably not before convention. But love to do a swap cast with Mike and bring him on and thank him for the hard work that he's putting in for the party. But Mike Urban, great choice, and definitely looking forward to that. Is his speech going to be before voting or?
Before.
Okay.
So all the speeches will take place before voting. So while we lock the doors and you're stuck inside, if you leave, then you can't vote. We make it entertaining.
Yeah.
Convention is just such a big celebration at the end of the day. I think that's a great way to think about it. We celebrate who we are as a party. We celebrate where we're at, what we stand for, who stepped forward to fight for our values. And that's really what we try to do. I kind of come from the events world. So a big piece of this is the delegate experience, making sure the person who's there all day long is feels impactful as they should. We're fulfilling our legal obligation. We're setting forth our nominee for the general election, but at the same time has a great time because that's a big part of it.
Well, this is one thing that there are events, it's it's funny for me. This serves a useful purpose, the convention, right? It's a political action, right? We're voting on nominees for the party to represent the party on the ballot in November on election. And melding the two where it's a feel-good event, right? So we want people to have a good time at the same time and be around other like-minded individuals, but at the same time accomplish something. And I pose this against, they had again another No Kings rally a couple weeks ago where I look at that and the people walking away, they all stomped around and screamed at the sky and did the whole thing that they usually do, and they walk away and nothing's accomplished, right? It's not productive.
Right.
What product comes out of it? Well, they felt good. Well, feeling good is just feeling good. Like when you get together and you have an event, there needs to be a reason behind it, a purpose behind it. And that's what this event does. There is a purpose behind it. It can result in real change, and it needs to result in real change, not just something where we all, get together and pat each other on the back.
Absolutely. I mean, convention really is a rallying cry, if you will, for all the work that's ahead. You know, a lot of people have been joking with me this week. You must be so excited for convention to be over, right? I'm sure it's a lot of work. And well, that may be true in one sense. In the next, like, the work doesn't stop. If anything, it intensifies the next day, because then we finally have our candidates, right? And that just does so much to rally the grassroots and to rally down ballot candidates too. I mean, I spend a lot of time working with state house candidates, and this is just as exciting for them, even though they're not going to be on stage. Having these thousands of grassroots activists together is just such a unique thing. It really does only happen every 4 years. So that's why it's so exciting.
Yeah. This is going to be impactful, because I want to cut to something real quick. This irritated the hell out of me when I saw it the other day. Here we go. We're going to our governor.
Energy bills are high. Everyone can see that. So lowering your energy bills is my top priority. Now, how does that happen? That's a little more complicated. So let's talk about energy in a way that everyone understands. With Munchkins. Picture this. You're at work or school, wherever. It's 9 a.m. and no one's eaten breakfast. Someone shows up with one of these. Demand is high. Everyone wants a Munchkin, or 2 or 3, but we've only got 25. That's where we're headed with energy. So how do we fix that? See this glazed Munchkin? That's wind. Massachusetts already has an offshore wind project.
All right, I got to stop. It's
How do we fix it?
Look.
I don't think she knows right now.
No, she doesn't have a clue. Okay.
Someone told me that the wind, you know, she pulled out the one Munchkin in there and says, oh, this is the wind energy. Yeah. But someone told me that actually it would be like an eighth of one of those Munchkins.
That's correct. Yeah. Well, this is the baffling part. Of course, the first thing she pulls out is wind. And wind is not cost effective. It breaks all the time. You have the turbines falling apart in the ocean.
Save the whales.
Yeah, it is bonkers. What that whole box of Munchkins. First of all, one, it is patronizing.
Yes. Talking
down, and I said this on Twitter. I got a lot of likes off of my response. Maybe it's even there. There it is, and there's my response, because this is my page.
Top one.
Yeah. What everyone should understand here is that her supporters need to be spoken to in this way. Okay, this is patronizing. This is what our governor is. She's an activist. She doesn't know what she's doing, so she has to bring down the Duncan. Everything is Duncan. First of all, Duncan must be going out of their minds with how bad a job she's doing and pulling them into her references constantly.
Yes, with the sugar.
It's so cringy. It's so cringy. But regardless, this is just how you speak to a child.
It is. I mean, our candidates had a lot of fun with this over the last few days, you know, kind of poking fun at the governor for it, and, you know, that she was poking fun at voters, really. But all jokes aside, we obviously need a change. I mean, the energy bills is one Munchkin in that box that she has to all the problems that we have in this state, you know, but a lot of it comes down to the affordability. You know, we tossed around a lot, bring it back to convention, I guess, the theme for this year, and it seems like affordability is the word, and that is just, you know, a silly thing to do to try to cover it up. We all pay our electric bills. Mine is out of control.
You're a young mom.
Yeah.
You like living in Massachusetts. I like living in Massachusetts. I love living in Massachusetts, and we want to stay here, and it's got to be more affordable, and it can be. This is what I really want to impress all, and I'll put the camera on both of us for a second, because I'm going to put up a little plug for us. And this, go to the link on the screen, scan the QR code, and donate to the Republican Party, because we need money for advertising to get candidates elected, to support Haley and all the good work she's doing, to make sure that that we can get Maura Healey and other Democrats in the legislature out of office. I want to emphasize this to everybody at home. None of this changes. None of this changes unless you vote these people out. That's it. You can complain all day long. You can get angry on Facebook and get angry on Twitter. And okay, I feel your pain. But unless we get Republicans elected, Democrats out of office, your taxes are going to be high. She's going to go after wind and solar and not practical fuels like nuclear and natural gas. It's been 4 years, and she's got a plan. She's done nothing for 4 years, and she's been screwing everybody. And you can't. This is just election season lies. And if she wins again, she's not going to do any of this nonsense and just double down on win. Elect Republicans. Support. Go to the QR code on the screen, the link. Donate today. Help support the party so we can actually win and make some changes. That's the only way it happens. That's my plug.
I love your plug, Jeff. You know, I come from the fundraising world, so I love your plug. We always have to be shameless about it. But really, I mean, it's those donations that fuel the technology that candidates are using, that fuels the mail that they put out, the staff time and resources. So, you know, it's a grassroots operation here. We're Massachusetts. We're behind enemy lines, no doubt. That's what makes this so fun and challenging and rewarding. But it is those small donations that fuel Mass GOP. It really is.
So please go donate today. All right, we have covered what we need to cover. Convention is April 25th. Your hotels, go to the massgop.com website. They have a convention page for more information.
Yes, tons of info.
There's tons of info there. The schedule is there. The parties are there. You can pick up your swag, your credentials the day before. We've got a lot of things to cover. When we get there, it's going to be eat a big breakfast is what we should say, right? Yeah. It's going to be a long day, but make sure you get there on time because doors do close at 10 o'clock. And we definitely, I think we have a great look. We played a clip from Maura Healey. She stinks. She doesn't know what she's doing. We have 3 very viable, credentialed, successful candidates that could replace her.
We do.
We are in really good shape for this, and I want to stress to the audience that this is a great time for us as a party to come together, to come out of there and be active and move on to November and win in November. And we can't do it if we're not unified. So we got to be unified coming out of this convention. We got to make sure that everybody is on the same page, that we're going to beat Maura Healey. She is vulnerable. Look, you're getting booed at Fenway Park. Yeah. They don't like her. This is the.
I think we should play that video at convention as well.
Yeah, let me pull this up. We'll leave everybody.
I'm looking for content if anyone has suggestions.
Yeah. No. Well, this is here we go.
This is cringe.
On from cringe. 5 days ago.
Welcome Governor Healey and Mayor Wu.
Well, if that doesn't make you want to go knock a door, I don't know what will.
Booze raining down at Fenway Park. Oh God, they're so awkward. It's so forced.
You know, I mean, it's clear that it's time for a change. Everyone in the state feels it. If you don't feel it in your wallet, you feel it with, the policies you see in your kids' schools or whatever it is. It's too hard to start a business. It's so expensive to start an LLC here. I think it's the priciest in the country. There are so many stories like that, and it's clear we do need a change. Our base talks a lot about the audit, of course. While it is being led by our Democratic auditor, it's something I think we all agree we need.
Well, yeah, and to that point, if you want the legislature to approve the audit, you got to make more members of the legislature Republican.
Exactly.
And they'll want transparency.
I think I found myself saying in one of our videos, a couple weeks ago, that there's no such thing as accountability if you're all from the same party, and it's just so true. And there is momentum and energy. I mean, attendance for this convention right now is more than it was 4 years ago. It's on track to be the biggest convention ever in Massachusetts history, and we're Massachusetts, so that's really cool.
Yeah, there's momentum. There's a lot of vulnerability to her campaign. She's incredibly weak. She's just running on nonsense like Munchkins, blaming the president all of her problems that she has caused, and the voters will see through it. So that's what we're here to do: help them see through it. Break through that noise that the media is doing on a daily basis, covering for her. But I think our time is we're going to have a very successful 2026. So
I think so.
So Haley, thank you very much for coming on. Go to themassgop.com for more information. Scan the QR code on the screen. Go to the link on the screen and donate to us today because we need those funds if you're gonna go to a convention, have a great time. Pay attention to the clock. Make sure you're in the auditorium before 10 a.m. At the latest. Get your credentials. Don't have too many drinks on Friday night. Stay safe. Be well, and we'll see you.
That's a good night.
The Massachusetts Republican Convention on April 25th.
Thank you, Jeff, and we will see everyone in Worcester.
Bye-bye.